Alex Grassi. Finger style, open tuning guitar. This song, Turning Back, is like the most beautiful song ever. This is the song I want people to play on my last day. Yay. Good. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex DeGrassi, this morning. Alex, I used to play, good morning, you guys. Thanks for coming, before I get ahead of myself. Belinda, our opera singer, so cool to have you. Thank you for coming this morning. I presume you might have some questions. Put me to work. Did I see Kathy? Kathy, good to see you. Dave. Dave, still got to get to Seattle, man. I hope you'll come to Seattle one day and we can do the training intensive. Let's see here. Of course, Marcy, my homie, all kinds of great stuff going on here. So, a little bit about that music. It's Turning Back. This is music that was composed by Alex DeGrassi. If you're not familiar with him, he's a guy that lives in the wine country in California. He does open string guitar tuning fingerstyle music. Go purchase Alex DeGrassi's greatest hits. Purchase Alex DeGrassi's greatest hits. It will transform your life. It is, for me, probably definitely in the top 5, maybe the most beautiful music I've ever heard in my life. I used to play fingerstyle guitar. I suck at guitar, so I sort of gave it up. But I went to Alex DeGrassi. Got a cool story. I went to a summer guitar workshop camp with Alex DeGrassi years ago. Landed in California, drove out to his beautiful home out in the wine country, and hung out there with about 10 really super talented young fingerstyle guitarists, and he did a 1-week workshop thing. And I was sleeping in Alex DeGrassi's library, and I guess maybe a little nosy or whatever. I was looking at some books, and I happened to pick up a book inside Alex DeGrassi's personal library in his home, and I looked at the inside cover, and in the inside cover it said something like, "Congratulations on winning your Grammy award, Alex. I'm really proud of you, your brother," or something. It was something like that. It was like, I was like, whoa, that is just cool. I put it down. I'm like, ooh, that's just so cool. Anyways, I'm a big fan of guitar music. Good morning, you guys. This is our special Halloween episode. All right, this morning I went to the coffee shop across the street, Bedlam Coffee, and they had a special deal where you get a if you buy this cup, it's like a handmade cup. The owner of the coffee shop made this little cup. So I bought one, and then you get like a free coffee. So anyways, this is the special Halloween episode. All right, let's get to it. Questions about vocal training, about the TVS course, be it the user interface, how to get around, or talking about the onsets or the vowels, or putting them all together for integrated training routines. Hopefully we get a chance to talk a little bit about customizing your own personal training routines, which is something that we're doing here at TVS with our integrated training routine concept. We'd love to talk to you guys about that. I'm sure some of your questions will probably give me an opportunity to present or prescribe, if you will, a customized routine that would help you fix your vocal issues. Also, teachers, come. This isn't only for students. This is for when we might say our senior class students, teachers, people responsible for other folks. Let's see what we got for questions here. Yay, Belinda, please get questions. Yeah, I have made it. It is at the end of the day here. I'm winding down and relaxing. Looking forward to hearing your insights. Cool. Belinda, it's great to have you. All right, first question here from Belinda, our professional opera singer, soprano, that has recently purchased the program and apparently enjoying it. It's been fun working with her. Jaden, thank you for coming, buddy. Okay, Belinda's question is, my question is, how do you reduce tension in the jaw with, love this old English stuff. Okay, how do you reduce tension in the jaw with assuming the horizontal position rather than the vertical? In opera singing, we rely on the horizontal position with a relaxed jaw to facilitate the dampening of the larynx without tension. I'm going to repeat that. Belinda, our professional opera singer, says, in opera singing, we rely on the horizontal position with a relaxed jaw to facilitate dampening of the larynx without tension. I do utilize the horizontal position for enhanced projection into the mask. Aha, yes. But for legato, fancy voice lesson talk Italian for connectedness in your singing. For legato and to maintain the open throat position, it feels more challenging. Any suggestions? Thanks. Belinda, when I read your question, it sort of strikes me as, Robert, I noticed that in your program, you're advocating a horizontal orientation on the embouchure. Well, in fact, that's what I've been doing as a professional opera singer. I've seen this before. I've been taught this before by another good coach. I've realized its benefits. That's what I'm doing. In fact, I do it to reduce tension and to amplify the formant, to amplify the vowels and the resonance. Well, okay, we're in agreement here. All right, but then I do utilize horizontal legato and to maintain, it feels, any questions, I do utilize the horizontal position for enhanced projection into the mask, but for legato and to maintain the open throat position, it feels more challenging. Belinda, the horizontal position will always be a little bit more challenging. It's sort of it's sort of similar to singing narrow vowels will always be a little more challenging than singing the big, easy, lovely, resonant, open vowels. But because it's challenging, in my view, and what I would encourage you, especially as an experienced singer, to do is don't question it so much. Don't question its merits because it's challenging. As a matter of fact, because it's challenging, more likely it's an indicator that you're probably on the good path, or you're on to something that has a resistance training sort of element to it, or resistance training benefit to it. Like, okay, singing E's and Oo's and Ers and narrow vowels are difficult. They are for everybody. We all sort of know this. Does that mean you run away and retreat from it? No, no. You face it head on and you work on them and you build the motor skills or the articulators to be able to shape those narrow vowels, and you find the sort of that sweet narrow, that sweet spot of resonation for narrow vowels, which can be difficult from time to time. So horizontal embouchure, great. Really actually impressed that you're aware of it and that you're doing that. If it's challenging, good. Good. Keep doing it. keep doing it because it's creating resistance. And I don't have all the answers, but something on the inside, the musculature, the motor skills, these sorts of things are getting stronger and getting more coordinated. In part because you've committed yourself to the thing that's hard, okay? The thing that's hard. What did John Kennedy say about going to the moon? It was just the best quote years ago in the 60s before we went to the moon. He said something like,
we choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
It's because it is hard. Because it is a challenge. I love that. I love that. And I think that if you are serious about singing and you want to get great progress and you want to really, truly get tangible results, that is the sort of attitude that singers need. When it gets hard, when we're singing and training, when it gets hard or disappointing or frustrating, that's the moment that separates the boys from the men and the girls from the women when it comes to singing. Always being faced with a little bit more of a challenge, another song, another line, another note that's difficult, a narrow vowel that keeps grabbing you, a little bit of choking here that you want to get to go away. This sort of experience never goes away for singers. So get used to it. It's what you signed up for, all right? And I say, it's part of the lifestyle. And I've learned this the hard way. I'm sure a lot of you guys have too. Over and over and over again. When I thought that I had a lot of answers or even all the answers, or I thought I was a pretty good singer, right about exactly when I thought that was when I had my ass handed to me, and was humbled a little bit and realized, I've got more to learn. I've got more training to do. A perfect example, I used to sort of kind of modify out of those narrow vowels all the time, most of the time. Not anymore so much. There are moments when you want to modify out of E, and oo, and the R control vowels, the and There are moments when you want to modify out of those from time to time, and there's an artistic reason to do, an artistic argument for modifying out of those vowels and distorting them from time to time. But these days, for myself and my students, 8 out of 10 times, stay put, commit to it. The horizontal embouchure does a couple things, several things. One, the horizontal embouchure amplifies the resonance, okay? There is, because your oral cavity, the horizontal embouchure amplifies the sound because it's narrowed the oral cavity. The oral cavity creates more amplification, all right? Horizontal embouchure also allows a little bit of that sound energy in the oral cavity to sort of ping off the teeth. The teeth can add color to your overall sound color, and it's typically pretty good. It's great for contemporary sounds and belting. Another thing that the horizontal embouchure is really super good about is the horizontal embouchure. Because the horizontal embouchure sort of chills out the jawbone, because it makes the jawbone not move as much, it forces the tongue, okay, and the internal articulators to articulate more. A static horizontal embouchure amplifies the resonance better, and it forces the tongue to work harder. It forces you to get more into sort of throat shaping the vowels, all right? If you can chill out the jawbone, okay, which is a big clunky hingy thing, if you can chill that out and just sort of, keep a horizontal embouchure and work to articulate your vowels more intrinsically, it's better. It's more efficient. It helps you sing the hard stuff better. And again, horizontal embouchure is great for that. So I guess it's sort of a winded answer for Belinda, but Belinda, I hope there's something in that helps you. I don't really see a problem in your question, I guess. I see a lot of good in your question. Keep doing it. Don't run away from it. And my God, why are these lights just so, ugh? Hang on. Draven Gray, TVS teacher and producer, engineer, buddy, says, I personally prefer a more vertical embouchure. Ooh, okay. When moving into a belting vocal mode. However, the risk that I've come across when walking students through it is that because most of the resonance is focused on the soft palate and forward rather than open throat, it's easy to splat the vowel. Yes, translation, sort of a lot of vertical position can lead to splatting out the vowels a little bit more, for sure. That's sort of the chain of logic. The only way around that is to focus on a more open throat with the vertical embouchure. Other than that, I always use a more horizontal embouchure. Okay. In regards to this horizontal embouchure thing, it's not an absolute thing. It has, and I'm not, very few things in singing and singing technique are absolute. Okay. If you get around somebody that's like very absolute about their thing, red flag, okay? I'll tell you, the only thing, there is one thing that's absolute, okay? In singing, and that's, take a guess. What's the one constant, like gravity? What's the one absolute in singing? The one thing that can't be changed, that can't be, that is either absolutely accurate or it's not. What is it? Take a good guess. Jeopardy music. Okay. Frequency, pitch. Frequency and pitch. You can't be sort of like, it's got to be on. If you're not on pitch, technically you're making noise. Even if it still sort of sounds good because you're really close, technically it's noise. So this is a bit esoteric, but in a sense, what you take from that is that we are, in some sense, slaves to frequency, slaves to the notes on the keyboard. But just about everything else, there's elements of flexibility, there's spectrum, there's interpretation, and creative license. Another thing about this horizontal that Draven's point makes me think about is that in the beginning, teachers, listen, teachers and beginners and teachers with beginners. In the beginning, training a horizontal embouchure position, nagging yourself and your student to keep it in that position, in the long run is going to reap big benefits for your student, okay? Because of the reason I already mentioned. They get better amplification, their tongue begins to articulate more for singing, they begin to sort of get into throat shaping and more efficient shaping of the vowels. Horizontal embouchure is something that I do with beginners for sure, but if somebody like, say, Draven maybe, or myself, or somebody that's got a lot of experience and a lot of motor skills and strength for singing, you'll see more vertical movement. Because by that time, a lot of the articulated movements, the motor skills have already been built. So you can kind of, stretch out, sort of loosen up a little bit and get in a more of a vertical position. But I'm a bit of a stickler in the beginning for most students, beginners and amateurs, to go there because I want to build that skill. Thanks for your input, Jaden. Good stuff. Marcy. Oh, shit, they're coming to get me. No, it's okay. Not this morning. All right, Marcy, thank you for pointing that out, Robert, about the frequency. Right? So, thanks, Robert, for pointing that out about the frequency, says Marcy from Boise, Idaho, my homie back home. We're going to do something in Boise one day. Well, Marcy's a piano teacher, too. So she lives in a world of notes, or accuracy of notes. Her piano students, if you finger a piano movement wrong, it's wrong. And that's a little bit of an insight to my point, kind of proving my point. I mean, if you don't hit the key right on the keyboard, it doesn't sound good. It sounds like noise. Okay? So, short of some abstract Aaron Copland minimalist thing or whatever, it's just not, you guys get it. What's next? Give me a question. Jim says, I can only advise them to sign up. I am feeling excited as to what I have learned so far. The methodology is sound and has shown me a way forward that I have not found in a lot of years playing guitar, singing, and trying to move forward. Thank you. You are welcome, Jim, and thank you for sharing your experience. Jim, the best way you can thank me and my partners, people like Draven and Mike Elson and our sponsors and what have you, the best way you can thank the team and people who help us do this is leave a 5-star review with comments. Would be much appreciated. Thank you. Moving on, Marcy, thank you for pointing out Robert Frequency. Jaden, Marcy, on Bao. Hi, from Vietnam. Are you supporting Narrow Mouth? So cool, Vietnam. Is this, I'm just curious, North Vietnam or South Vietnam? Doesn't matter, just sort of interesting to me. I'm probably not saying this right, on Bao? Hi from Vietnam, are you support Narrow Mouth? Okay, so obviously on Bao is English isn't his first language. I support Narrow Mouth. I'm not sure what that means. Would you try again? Because I want to help all those singers in Vietnam. How cool is that? Good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, Vietnam. Do I support narrow vowels? Narrow. Okay, so you're talking about narrow vowels. Are you talking about E, U, and and So in Vietnamese, in the language of Vietnamese, you have sound colors, all right, that sound like E, U, E. Okay, I don't know, but I'm assuming that you do, or you have sound colors in your language that are similar to that. That's typically the case. Different languages, their narrow vowels are very similar, like it's from the same family, but it might be just ever so subtly different. Like an E is slightly different in French and Italian, but overall it's still narrowed. It's still sort of the same position. In regards to narrowed language vowels in your lyrics, sing them. Train, get stronger on E, U, E, and O, okay? In your English songs and in your Vietnamese songs. Don't run away from E, I, U, and Embrace it, work it, sing it, train it. All right, great. You thought, from Marcy, from the big city of Boise, Idaho. Maybe this isn't the right question, but have you thought about mentors for new teachers' business help? What does that mean? Have I thought about mentors for new teachers' business help? Oh, I do know what that means. And that translates to, have I thought about a mentoring program for other voice coaches that would show them a viable, valid methodology they can use for teaching, what I believe would have to also be in a program like that, marketing and business skills for teachers. Have I thought about that? Yo. Thinking about that a lot these days, Marcy. There's a lot of work going on sort of behind the scenes right now for that very thing. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but myself and some partners are looking to put together a sort of a new version of the TVS Certified Instructor Program, which has been in place and still in place today, but we're going to fortify it. We're going to put it on Wheaties and kind of relaunch the teacher program, which is very much a mentoring program. And what I like about it versus the older previous TVS Certified Instructor Program is that two things really. This time around, the TVS methodology has sort of evolved. It's more mature. It's been sort of sorted out and figured out better. It's evolved from a collection of good ideas to processes that are really clear and defined. The coach that teaches it has also matured and is better equipped to lead a group of teachers. And also, we're going to get involved in helping teachers with business aspects too. It's not enough. It's not enough to only teach and help students. That's perhaps the most important thing, but it's not the only thing. Teachers need to eat. And so we're going to show you how you can make a living better as a coach, and how you can reach out and get more students. You can increase your scalability and reach more students around the world. So yes, the short answer is yes, and that's coming. Stay tuned. What do I got here? Jim, it is very early days for me. I would love to teach. Oh. Jim, if you're interested in becoming a certified instructor, I'm more than happy to talk to you. Feel free to send me an email after this communication, or even give me a personal phone call. That's perfectly fine. You can go out to my website, go to the contact page. Let's see here, I'll just give it to you guys and reach out. Anybody that's interested in voice teacher training, contact me. I mean, this is an important issue. This is an important thing, so don't be shy. Okay? Here's the contact page. That's good. Okay. Boom. Where am I going? Okay, very promising, Robert. Oh, you're welcome. Yes, Marcy, it is very promising, especially when it's not only me. You know, when it's me and other really talented people. So there's a team involved, which is the only way to do it. It's the only way you can really do it in the proper way. And that might be the catalyst for coming to Boise, actually. Okay, questions? Sham, it's been a while since Draven and I saw you here in Seattle at the Vocal Athlete Intensive, the 1 week gig that we did. Very cool. Hope you're doing well, and look forward to seeing you on Skype soon. I know that when we were working together, you're making nice, really big, like King Kong steps. Sham was like, boom, King Kong steps forward with the training. The other thing I like about Sham is he practices. You know, he does the work. He pays his dues. And you know, whenever Sham and I had a Skype lesson, he would always be ready and always had been working on things. And man, I really appreciate that. And you know what? He came to Seattle from Denmark, I believe, for Draven and I's vocal athlete intensive. And whoa, I mean, from what Sham was doing when we first met to what he was doing when he got here to the boot camp, wow. I mean, it was just cool. Yay, Marcy. All right, so I have a couple more questions over here. I'm gonna grab them. So Byron asks, there are breathing workouts in the program and you should, wait a minute, that's my answer. Hang on. All right, so Byron asked me a question that went something like this. I got my answers down here, but it was something like, I have breathing issues. I have respiration support issues. Is there any respiration support lectures and lessons and content in the 4 Pillars of Singing in the training program? And my response was, absolutely. There's just 2 things that come to mind. Well, I'll say 3. Number 1, there's a really super cool and unique set of 6 breathing workouts that I sort of inherited from Maestro David Kyle. There's no singing involved in it. You're not releasing big, beautiful vowels. It's all about building the motor skills and the strength of the diaphragm and the obliques. And it's a set of workouts where you sort of hold your breath and count in different ways, or expel all your wind and hold and count in different ways. There's a video demonstration on it. Granted, it's a bit dated. I've got long hair and I'm wearing Carhartt pants. I mean, the thing is almost like 8 or 9 years old, but still kind of cool. I'll be updating it soon, but it's still effective. Go check it out. So you can work on these Maestro David Kyle breathing exercises that I've preserved. That's really cool. 2, there's a workout in the course called diaphragmatic breathing and vibrato workout. Now, building your diaphragm for singing and wah and vibrato are 2 different topics. They're 2 different things pretty much, but it just so happens that the same vocalese, the same workout is repurposed for 2 different things. You can use this workout for this breathing, strength building, your breathing motor skills. And it also happens to be a really great workout to build vibrato. And speaking of Maestro Kyle, it's a workout that I inherited from Maestro Kyle. The way I teach it is a little bit developed and has evolved from the original Maestro Kyle. Truthfully, everything that you do in the program, from the buzzing warm-ups to the most sophisticated and fun blues workout, are developing your breathing. Okay, just doing it, training every day and singing every day builds breathing coordination. So sometimes when I get a question like that, oh, I need to work on my breathing, and what do I do? I know I'm talking to a beginner, and I direct them to the content. But you know, one of the best pieces of advice that you can give your students, to teachers out there, is just encourage them to train. Well, did you train 4 to 5 hours this week? Did you do the homework I gave you? Did you work on the scales that I gave you? Yeah, great. Then you've been developing your breathing skills. No, well, then I don't know what to tell you. The voice is a wind instrument. It takes air to play it. So no matter what you're doing, training or singing, you're going to be building coordination and strength of breathing. All right, Byron also has practice sitting. This is going to practice sitting unless you have to. Byron had a question here about is it okay to practice sitting down? All right, I believe we addressed this question in last week's webinar. It's a really good one, and my answer to that is unless there's a good reason to be sitting down, like you literally physically can't stand up, or maybe you're sitting in the car and you're sort of senior-sizing when you're stuck in traffic. There's a couple of exceptions. But other than that, get on your feet. This is physical training. Don't be lazy. Don't be sitting on your butt if you don't have to, okay? Get on your feet, put a microphone in your hand, and train, get your legs anchored and work on your extrinsic anchoring and work on, sort of the athleticism of singing. Singing is an athletic endeavor. It's like dancing or gymnastics. It's, there's little intrinsic muscles, yes, that we develop through horizontal embouchure and other things, but there's also definitely extrinsic muscles, the big stuff on the outside, the diaphragm, the obliques, singing from the core, the glutes, the thighs, the legs. All of this has to be engaged. You're sitting on your butt, you're not engaging those extrinsic anchoring musculature, and you're not breathing as well. All right, yes, warm up, of course, new content. Then we talked a little bit about, he asked me a question about warming up, and I took the opportunity to remind him that I've released a new warm-up course on Udemy. All right, so just clarify the inventory here. We have 2 courses on Udemy now. We have what I call the 4 Pillars of Singing Light. I believe it's actually titled Become a Great Singer, Your Complete Vocal Training Course. It's got 180 lessons in it. It's huge, just like the flagship program, but it doesn't come with a book. It doesn't come with download files. It doesn't come with additional copy on the page, like tables and pictures and quizzes and things like that, and bonus videos. And but it's good place to get started. But it's big. And about 2 weeks ago, I launched another course called Vocal Warm-Ups, Your Ultimate Vocal Warm-Up Course, or something like that, out at Udemy. It's only about 50 videos, so it's really simple. That's one thing I liked about it, is it's sort of simple, easy to grasp, easy to get in, very, very clear about the universe or the world, everything you want to know about warming up. Not just, here's the workouts. I don't do that. It's not, well, here's the workouts, just go like this. Do it like this. I'm not a do it like this coach, okay? I mean, you're gonna get your workout content, but I explain how vocal workouts, what they do, how it is that they help the voice, what kinds of vocal issues warm-ups will help. And then they also introduce four of the world's most popular or leading vocal workouts that are used in the top singing studios around the world. Even workout warm-up ideas that I don't necessarily teach in my studio, because I prefer a certain kind, and you can learn that in the course. But I'm an educator. I just want you guys to know about different warm-ups. Anyways, you can go out there and do that. And then the third course is the flagship full course with book, download files, copy, quizzes, everything out at my website, which, by the way, I'm going to give you guys a special offer at the end of this broadcast. Anybody that's listening to this that might have those Udemy courses but would be interested in upgrading to the full, sort of really honestly, like the real deal out at my website, I'll give you a special deal. Okay, so hang tight. At the end of our little broadcast, we'll go through that. What do we have? More questions, I thought. Draven. Belinda, that sounds great. Breathing support and strengthening the pelvic floor muscles and the intercostals is vital. Belinda is one smart cookie. David from Italy. Do you engage your intercostals and core muscles prior to singing the note or during? Oh, really? So Belinda asks, do I engage my intercostals and core muscles prior to singing the note or during? The answer to that would be both. All right. Dave Asimoto, how do you like the new microphone that you recently received? Cool. Dave, thanks for asking that. I want to do like a little microphone thing today too. I think that on each one of these broadcasts, I'm going to bust out and save a little bit of time to like microphone of the week or something. Okay, so let's do this. How do you? Robert and Brett are friends. SLS has a lot of limitations when it comes to singing with power. Draven says Robert and Brett are friends. Yes. SLS has a lot of limitations when it comes to singing with power. Great for mix, but not as much for belting. TVS covers both, but definitely in a different way than SLS. That's fair and square. It's true. It's true. These methods all are, most of them are giving some results to one degree or another, but SLS is a bit light in the head voice when it comes to belting. I'll just leave it at that. You can spend a lot of time doing speech level singing only, like purist speech level singing ideas, and really never really build the musculature and the strength and the motor skills that you need to get through the passaggio without breaking and instability issues and getting in the head voice. I'm just going to say that because I care about you guys, students that are watching this. That's just in fact the situation. And fine. On bow, Dave, I'll get back to your microphone thing here at the end. On bow, are you agreeing with me, which Brett is more huge than SLS? I don't know. I think Brett might disagree with me to some extent. That's my guess. But from what I can tell, there's a lot of similarities. Jim King, great point, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, Jim, don't sit. Bow, can you fix me in my singing? On bow. On bow, can I fix you in your singing? Can I fix you in your singing? I can help you, but it's a team effort. You mostly are the one that has to fix you in your singing. I can't fix you. What I can do is I can provide you with the world's most effective home study vocal technique training program, of course, technology that allows you to use it on your phone or mobility, workouts, demonstrations, books, live Facebook feeds for free. I can do all of that, but I can't make you practice. You have to practice. You have to do the training. Okay? We're training vocal athletes here, and that's not just sort of like a cool thing on a coffee cup. It's real. Okay? Got to build motor skills, repetition. So it's a team effort. I'll help you if you do your part too. If you don't do your part, don't have time. All right, Belinda, I have never trained with a microphone before. Oh, that's cute. In classical training, we always train acoustically. I'm looking forward to da-da-da-da. Great, so our resident opera singer Belinda says, hey, I've never trained with a microphone before. This is interesting to me. You know what, Belinda, the microphone, couple things. One, when it comes to hearing formants, when it comes to hearing the colors of your singing vowels for the purpose of tuning the vowels to fix resonance and stuff, sometimes having a microphone is makes it easier to hear. Okay, Two, the reason we do this is because there's just no getting around the fact that 9 out of 10, actually 9.999 out of 10 of all the students that I've ever had are contemporary students. They're CCM students. So this is a tool of our trade. In fact, even opera singers have microphones, little headsets. So it's singers and microphones go together like other things that go together. I'm searching for something funny, I can't come up with it, but singers need microphones. You gotta have microphones. And that's why I love microphones. I'm a total mic. You see this mic right here? This mic is an Electro-Voice, and it was built in like 1972. It is the SRD 627B. The SRD 672B from Electro-Voice. I have no idea, really. I don't have like a lot of information on its history. All I know is it looks really super cool, and it's made out of steel, and it's got this really thin, slick, and silky industrial design. And so I look for vintage old microphones of all sorts. But if I come across something that's sort of metal like this and thin, God, I love it. It's so light and thin in my hand. Sounds great. It's almost just as good as anything else modern that you get. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent, my apologies, but Belinda, microphones are fun. That's my point. The other thing about microphones, Belinda, is this. I think my point. So it's the tools of the trade. You have to learn how to use the microphone. Proximity, distance from the mouth is an important thing for a contemporary singer, all right? But I mean what I'm about ready to say. Maybe the main reason why I advocate that students train with microphones and amplification, the main reason is simply this. It's more fun. It's more fun. Training needs to be fun. Voice lessons, voice training, making sounds, singing through the passaggio and singing or screaming a big note. If it's not fun, then what's the point? Okay? I mean, after all, it is an art form. Okay? So all my life, since I was 15 years old, I've always trained with microphones and amplification. There are some sort of practical, technical benefits. You can hear the format better. It teaches students how, proximity effect and how to use the tool. But it's more fun. And it's really important that students don't wash out in the beginning when it's really challenging and frustrating. That's a real issue that I'm aware of. So I know it's hard because neighbors complain and different things. There's, it's not easy to get a mic and amplification, but in my course, in the very first lesson, I give you a list of 20 ideas on things that people can do to find privacy and to give them an opportunity to train with amplification. It's so important early on that it's like the first lesson out of 180 lessons, okay? But it's more fun. It's nothing like it's really great to have amplification and just sing a big note through the PA system, of course. With just a little bit of maybe a little reverb or something, it's great. It's part of the reason why we're doing this. Okay. And like I said, opera singers have mics as well. They got the little headsets. While your microphone is impressed and wants to learn lots more. Okay. Send me emails or questions and we can talk more about microphones. I guess the message today is there are amazing mics over here. I could grab a few for you. We could talk about it. But today I'm just sort of talking a bit about vintage microphones and how even just a cool vintage microphone, apart from the fact that they're affordable, is just great. And Draven knows this about me. Like every once in a while I'll send him a link like, cool, me want, you know, and it's some obscure thing. I'm gonna give you guys a link to a website that sells used, refurbished, vintage microphones. It's where I buy a lot of my microphones. This vintage stuff. This guy's really great. I was just on the phone with him yesterday. Here's another one, by the way. Look at this thing. It's from Italy. Tony, I hope you're still on. This is from Italy. Look at this. Okay, this cable is here because the plug-in is an old protocol. This mic was designed before 3-pin XLR mics this technology was developed. So they have to make a special work. Old 1970s thing. And this is the, my goodness, this is the MD2702 from a company called RCF, made in Italy. And I know what you're saying. You want to hear it? Okay. So let's put this guy down. I mean, it's just weird. Life's like this big bulbous sort of like big ball thing. It's totally cool. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. Okay? It's like a 30-year-old microphone from Italy. Can't beat that. And then the EV over here. I'll give you guys the website link to this guy. Don't buy all the cool ones, because save some for me. But here it is. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. Mike, boop. There he is. MikeHawk.com. Guy out of Hawaii named Richard. Goes all over the world and finds these old microphones, cleans them up, refurbishes them, and turns them around and sells them. It's so cool. All right, to my EV. David, back here. Dave Asimoto, how do you like that new microphone that you recently received? What do you look for in a good microphone? What are some of your favorite mics? What do I consider good mic technology? P.S. Yes, I noticed the Maestro Cloud breathing exercises. Been doing that for over 20 years. First thing in the morning. Wow, that's commitment. As soon as I open my eyes. David, I'm going to save your question about the mic. There's 3 questions about microphones in there, and it's really a perfect opportunity for me to just save those questions and address it next week. Let's do that. Let's address those cool questions about microphones next week, and I'll be more prepared. I'll have some of these vintage mics around. I have a couple other vintage mics over here that I haven't talked about that I'd love to talk about, and I'll also bring up some contemporary new mics that are that I definitely would love to recommend to you guys that are very popular, that easily to find, and then I'll talk to you about some microphones that are a little bit more obscure, easy to get, but if somebody didn't tell you about them, you wouldn't know about them. So we can have a real fun sort of microphone. I think we really should, actually. Okay. Oh my God, we're over time. Dave, great, Belinda, Draven, Robert, and Brett, blah, 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 all the way down here. Yep, Mike Hawk and Draven. Also charge for personal reviews. I have over 40 students to attend, too. Okay. Greg, can you that instead him? Can you that instead him? He offers that. What do I offer? You think about inner smile technique. Inner smile technique, not aware of it, but it sounds great. Feel happy inside. Let's talk about the inner smile and microphones in our next session. And it's overtime. I have to get to work. I hope this was fun and informative for you. We'll be here every Thursday morning, Pacific Standard Time at 10 a.m. for approximately an hour, taking questions and helping you guys out in regards to the courses, how to get around, the user interface, or technique. And more, we're looking for voice coaches, teachers that are interested in learning the methodology and interested in growing their teaching practice as well. I also offered you guys, mentioned something about a special offer. Let's do this. If you go out to my website, and I'm going to offer you an upgrade, okay, to the full course and the full book, where I'm going to personally sign a book and ship it to you this afternoon, okay, and the full online course. The retail is $189, and I will put a deal in here for you guys. What is this? Here's what I'm going to do. You purchase the full course for $189 plus book. I'll give you a free 30-minute lesson over Skype. I give you free time to help you get set up, where to go, where to click in, how to navigate the user interface, and get you started on your first integrated training routines and your first guides on where to go. All right, so that's the deal. Course and book, $189, and I will give you a free 30 minutes on Skype, free Skype lesson to make sure that you have everything you need, everything's working, and we're off and running. All right, have a good day, you guys, and talk to you next week.